And joining us now, as promised, Donnie Walton, the Seattle Mariners organization.
We're trying, Donnie and I are trying to come up with answers, and we come up every time we do, we come up with another question. But
that's easy.
But I guess let's start on the positive, Donnie. That okay, baseball is going to be played on a major league level, so that's a positive. And you're going to be headed up to Seattle to join the big club in Seattle for spring training part 2, I guess. So that's a positive. But what about the doubt as to where this is all going to shake out for somebody like yourself?
Yeah, to be honest, I think just everybody's excited that baseball's back, and then we're going to play somewhat of a season. I think everybody was, tired of waiting and hearing what's going to happen, and we're all just ready to go play and be back with the team again. So, kind of just looking ahead, I really don't know what their plan is for me, but I know they asked me to come along, and I'm leaving Sunday, and probably get more information as I get there. But I think everybody's just excited that baseball's back.
That was the question I had of you, because you were in spring training part 1. You were out there competing as hard as you could to make the big squad, the 40-man squad, and you were one of the last guys that was sent to Tacoma had everything stayed the same before the rug was pulled out from everything. But so you're going up there with the idea, is it a 30-30 thing? Tell me about it. 30 on the big club, 30 on the taxi squad. How do you understand it?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's the final say, but I think it's going to be 30 guys that are suited up, and the other 30 guys are going to be guys staying ready, and called the taxi squad, and just we'll probably be scrimmaging against each other, taking live at bats, kind of like how college is in the fall. We'll just be inter squatting and just staying ready for if anything happens. But yeah, that's what it looks like right now.
How about the idea that you'll be doing this in your home park, and that eventually maybe some guys might be sent to Tacoma? You said Everett, maybe to stay sharp or whatever on the taxi squad. But it has to be crazy to think you're going to walk into your home park and there'll be nobody there, and maybe 3 times this week you're going to scrimmage each other.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be different. But with everything going on, the pandemic happening, I think everybody just wants to start playing again, and it's going to be unusual at first, but hopefully towards the end of the season, they start putting people in the stands, hopefully. But yeah, it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna probably take us all back to college and inter squad in the fall like we did back in college.
How did you stay sharp as possible during this downtime? I mean, being over in Tulsa, you got Cobb over there, you got yourself. I'm probably missing some other body. Were you able to get together and at least see some live pitching?
Yeah. So I've been trying to just treat each day like it was in spring training. We had a routine each day, pretty much is to go play catch, take ground balls, take BP, and then get a little bit of lunch. And if you had a lift that day, go lift. And so I'm pretty much doing that during the week to stay ready, and been able to see Cobb and Battenfield. They've been throwing me live pretty much once a week, so I've been able to stay ready for sure, and been really fortunate. So if we play tomorrow, I'd be ready to go.
Donnie, Patrick Wheeler here. One of the changes that I think is pretty interesting coming in with the season is the fact that teams will only be playing teams within their division, and then the other ones will be interleague opponents kind of in the same geographical area. For instance, AL West plays NL West. Since you've been up in the pros before, how would that change the approach of a pro club like the Mariners coming in knowing that, well, we kind of know who our opponents are because they're kind of limited in a sense?
Yeah, you're gonna see the same arms a lot. And as an offensive player, you like that because the more you see a guy, the more comfortable you get. But yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be different. I say it's gonna look like more of a minor league season where there's not as many teams. You're playing 7 other teams, like we did in the Texas League. So you get to see a lot of the same guys throughout the year. But like I said, it's going to be interesting, and I think everybody has an idea, especially from going from last year. How teams look and what their rotation looks like. So it should be fun.
You've been around baseball your whole life, so probably some of this doesn't shock you as maybe we might think it would. But when you look at some of the things that you guys are going to have to go through it, you're going to be tested like every time you turn around. You have temperature checks. When you finally get to the park, you're not going to hang around the clubhouse. You're not going to all sit in the dugout. Not take any showers there. You're going to have to live in a different area. Some way it goes back to maybe high school stuff when you got on the bus and came over to Coweta to play when I remember you there. But overall, no people in the stands. I mean, you can't. Now, you're not, tobacco spitter, but I mean, no spit and gum. And you got all kinds of stuff that is second nature to baseball players that won't be second nature now.
Yeah, it's. I think that's what everybody's kind of worried about going in is, what's allowed and what's not allowed, and because guys have routines, and some guys want to shower before the game, some guys, have all their superstitions and stuff like that, and it's going to be a little bit different. And at first, I don't think it's going to feel like baseball because you're so worried about what you can do and what you can't do. But I think everybody will get used to it after a couple weeks. I think the testing we'll get in a better routine as it goes. But yeah, as soon as I get there, I think Monday I have a test, and then I'm have to stay in the hotel for a couple days, and then our first meeting is the first, and then the first team practice is the third. So. It's going to take some time to get used to, but I think anybody's, will do anything to have baseball back again.
Are you concerned personally about this health situation? That, you could do everything right and still get it and still test positive. And I still want to know how in the world they're going to get around I've said this from day one. I mean, unless you change things around, you got a batter, you got a catcher, and you got an umpire. That's close proximity, 3 different people. But are you concerned personally that I could do everything and it still might not work?
It's I haven't given it much thought, and since I've been here, I haven't given much thought. But I know if the one thing is, if you're smart, and you're able to take care of yourself, take care of your body, then I don't think you have much to worry about. But I think overall, if you're smart of where you're going and watching what you touch and making sure you wash your hands, I think everything will take care of itself. But most of all, just kind of being smart and being aware of where you're at.
Donnie Walton joining us here on the Afternoon Sports Drive in the Seattle Mariners organization. Donnie, you talked about all those little things that baseball players do. I mean, they've gotten pretty detailed. I think it was like 100 pages worth of new rules and everything that's going to be in Major League Baseball. No licking the fingers, no sunflower seeds, tobacco, spitting, whatever, all that stuff. How much, though, if you're being completely honest, do you expect that to be fully enforced? Because, I mean, you got a lot of players out there at the same time and in the dugout and all of that. I mean, is this really going to be something that, oh my gosh, we caught this guy spitting over there, or we caught this guy chewing sunflower seeds? I mean, is that going to be seriously enforced?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see. That's kind of what I've been wondering about. I think I'll get more information about it once I get there, because, it's all part of baseball, but I get why they want us to do it. But I think it's a conversation that the teams in the MLB are going to have once we all get there, and once games start getting back up and practicing, and teams are out there on the field. So no, I'm interested to see if that's all going to be serious, or is it something that they just prefer guys to do?
Well, if they throw out as many balls as they do now, when the ball hits the dirt and they throw it out of play, and they're going to throw out balls that are touched by more than one person, we're going to be playing there for a while. They better bring a whole lot of supply of baseballs. But let me ask you, how forthcoming has the Mariner organization been? And I don't mean they call you every night. I'm not getting that for, but how forthcoming have they been about what to expect now that we're back in business, so to speak?
Since it's kind of just started back up, and we all just got the news a couple days ago, I think they're all just trying to get information and when we're flying out, how we're getting there. I think they're all just worried about that right now. But through this time during the pandemic, they try to keep in touch, and they've done a great job just calling us and seeing how we're doing and how's our body, and is everybody healthy, or if you're having symptoms, let us know. And so they've definitely stayed in touch and made sure that we're doing all right. And now it's just trying to get everybody there and safe and healthy, and hopefully everybody's gotten tested and there's all negative, and we get there out in the field and try to act like there's no pandemic and go out there and play ball.
Couple of things before we cut you loose that I want to get your comment. Number one, Polkovich was drafted by the Mariners. He has a little bit of a copy that he could file. You see what Donnie Walton did. Everybody's different. I don't know if you talked to him. And what about this Texas Collegiate League that's going on now, starting up here next week? I think 5 guys from Oklahoma State are going to be on that. Tom Holliday is going to be the manager. You're going to be at One Oak and all that. What kind of a deal is that? Now, you being in Tulsa, maybe that's not as big a deal because you've been around that park, but that's a big deal for these kids.
Yeah. Once I heard it, I think I thought it was a great idea, and I know guys are bored out of their minds. They want to play ball and try to still grind things out and try to find a way to get better. And more games you play, the better you're going to get. So I think it's a great idea and very exciting for college kids to get back there on the field and start competing again. And when Cade Polkovich got drafted, Mariners have called me and all my pops about him before the draft. So we had a pretty good idea that Mariners were going to take him. So when it happened, it was just super cool that another Cowboy is going to be a Mariner, and just getting to know Polkovich just a little bit while he was here, he really loves the game. He loves to compete, and you got to have those guys in your organization because you know what you're going to get. So just super happy for him.
Hey, we appreciate your time. I know this is busy as you're trying to get everything ready to head on out back to Seattle. I'll keep in touch with you as we go along because I want to see how you're adapting to all this new style of baseball. But once again, best of luck to you, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, buddy. See ya. That's Donnie Walton.